Today, I have the brand new DJI Mini 4K drone, which is the very latest release from DJI in their sub 250 gram category. And boy, is this drone jam-packed with features. Now, I haven't opened the box yet. I'm gonna do that in front of you to do the unboxing, and I'll go over the specifications. And you might be wondering why I'm so excited. Well, for starters, it's a drone. I always get excited when I'm reviewing a drone, but more importantly, this drone is different. And DJI's had a lot of releases in the Mini category before, starting way back with the original Mavic Mini, the Mini 2, the Mini 2 SE, the Mini SE, the Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 4 Pro, and now the Mini 4K. And I've flown all of them. The reason I'm excited about this particular drone is because through all those iterations of drones that DJI's released, they've acquired a lot of really advanced technology and they've put it in this drone. So if you're a new flyer thinking about getting into the hobby, this drone has pretty much everything you need from a stability, a safety perspective, a video recording perspective, a distance perspective. Everything you need in a drone pretty much is in this unit, and it's priced right. So the unit is really almost in everybody's budget out there, where if you're thinking of jumping into the hobby, this is the one that's going to get you off the fence. Now, I'm going to tear the box open in a second, but I have to take a breath because I get so excited every time I open up a new drone. And I know it's similar to other drones out there, and I'll kind of give you a feel of where it fits in that legacy of mini drones from DJI, because they've constantly released new evolutions of their drones, including things like crash avoidance, better cameras, longer flight distance, longer flight time, and a lot of other intelligent features built in. This has some of those in there. Not all of them, but some of them. But again, this is a drone that would be great for somebody that's looking to enter the hobby and get those features in a drone that's incredibly easy to fly. All right, enough talking. Let's get the box open. So I've got a little slicer here. I'm just gonna, you can see the shrink wrap still on there. I haven't opened it up yet. So let me open this up, get the cellophane off here. Boy, this is an exciting day. I'm telling you, it's, oh boy, don't drop it, Rick. This is an exciting day. All right, let's get that guy out of the way. Okay, there's no tape on the top of it. Here we go. Now, I should say before I open this, I got a little peek there. This drone is offered in a couple of different configurations. I've got the Fly More combo right here, which includes some extra things. It is also offered as a drone, a controller, and a single battery, which is really the price point that gets you started. But I'm here to tell you, once you start flying this drone, you're gonna put it up in the air and it's gonna change things for you. You're gonna start enjoying it so much that you're gonna think, how do I fly that drone longer? You need more batteries. Gee, I got those batteries. How do I charge those batteries? You need a hub. Gee, I could sure use a couple of extra propellers. All that's in here, including a case. So let me open this up. My recommendation again is the Fly More combination, like the one I'm going to show you, is really a better deal all the way around because all the things you're going to eventually pick up one at a time are in the kit. All right, so let's get into the box. Enough talking, Rick. All right, so the first thing you're going to notice is it comes with a carrying case, which is a really nice touch. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's a carrying case, what's the big deal? Well, for starters, it protects your drone, it protects the controller, all the electronics you're taking out there with you. But the thing that really matters about a carry case like this is that when you're flying a drone, you've got a lot of accessories with you. You've got batteries with you, you've got a controller, you've got cables, you've got props, you've got a screwdriver. This helps organize all those parts. So having a case like this means when I grab this and run out the door, I've got everything I need to fly the drone. I won't have to worry about getting out on site and missing a cable or something. All right, so let's open up the box. Let's see here. On the front, nothing. On the back, nothing. Oh, wait a minute, there is. There's a little pouch in the back right there, which is nice. There's nothing in that pouch, but on the back there's a pouch. You can put things back there. That's about the right size for a ham sandwich, so maybe that's what I'll put back there. All right, so let's get this guy open and take a look. All right, top opens like that. Very similar to other DJI cases, and I've got a couple of components in here. There's the controller, and there's the battery bank, the actual hub, and there's the drone. And in the front flap, a bunch of manuals and some stickers. So I'll look at all those in a second. And I always miss this, but in the top right here, there are more accessories as part of this Fly More combination. Let's see what's up there. I'm sure there's going to be props and a bunch of other stuff. Whoa, boy, there's a lot of stuff up there. All right, here we go. All right, good enough. All right, so that's the case, and there's all the stuff you get. So let me start off with some of the simpler things. I'll start off with the battery hub first. Actually, let me start with the manuals. So inside there, DJI is great with their manuals. They always give you printed manuals for everything. They include a quick start guide, safety guide, charging hub guide, accessory guide, Some other important information, if you've never flown a drone before, there aren't a lot of rules, but you have to follow the FAA rules, and they describe them right here. Really simple things like you can't go over 400 feet high, you can't fly it out of your visual line of sight, you can't fly over people, can't fly over cars, can't fly in restricted areas. Really common sense rules that everybody should be following, and they're printed out right there so you can read them. You get a really nice, looks like a DJI sticker here. That's a new thing, so I like that a lot. And then there's a warranty card here, looks like, and you can also get Light Cut, which is an application you can use to edit your videos, because when you film something up in the air, you're going to take that raw footage and you kind of have to put it together in some kind of sensible video. That Light Cut helps you do that. It's a great application. All right, so those are the manuals. I'm going to leave the accessories to last. Let me take a look at the hub, because I've flown, again, a lot of the DJI Mini drones, and I'm thinking a lot of people are comparing this to the 2SE. The 2, actually. I think it's closer to the 2SE as far as features and functions. Yep, that's a pretty standard battery hub right there. Now, the nice thing about the battery hub is it holds 3 batteries, and when you connect this up to power, there's a controller in the bottom of this that checks the battery level and all the batteries that are inserted, and it finds the one that needs the least amount of charge and charges that one fully first. And when that's full, it shuts off that battery, it interrogates the other 2, finds the one that needs the least amount of charge between them, then charges that one, and finally moves on to the third one. And that's a great way to do it, because it allows you to get the battery that needs the least amount of charge charged first and back up in the air. So it's a great way to go. You can also use this as a battery hub too, so you can connect up to the USB-A on the side, and you can power things externally. So if you've got batteries in here and you turn it on and you need a little extra juice for your cell phone or your tablet, you can plug it in and start charging that. So really nice design on that product. Let's take a look at the controller. This looks like the original N1, or it's probably an N2. Now, I don't know what they're using. I think they're using OcuSync 2 for the transmission technology, because you get 10 kilometers out of the drone, which is exactly the distance you'll get out of the 2SE, which uses the O2 technology. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I can't tell if it's the N1 or N2. But a beautiful, beautiful controller. Again, if you've never flown a drone before, they've designed this to be perfect, where your thumbs fall right over the joysticks. You've got various buttons on the front. You'll need to use your phone with it or a small tablet. That pops in the top right here, and then you'll connect it up to the controller with a cable, which is right there. So you'll connect it up, you'll run the DJI Fly app, and everything you need is in that app. It'll show you how to run it. It'll take beautiful videos. Oh, and you're going to get a really nice live feed from the drone. So when you're flying out there, it's like you're Superman strapped to the bottom of the drone, and you're seeing exactly what the drone's seeing as you fly over those woods or over that beautiful lake. So there's the controller, and again, they have holding spots down the bottom for the joysticks. I always leave the joysticks in because I have big fat thumbs, and when I try to take the joysticks out, I guarantee you almost every time I've done it out there in a field of tall grass, I end up dropping one of them, and then I spend 45 minutes trying to find it. So I like leaving the joysticks on, but really grippy. You got controls on the top here for zoom. There's a digital zoom built into this as well, 4x digital zoom, and you got a record button and a picture button on the top. All right, there's the drone. Let's get into that next, because that's really what I'm here to see. Oh boy. I know I've flown a lot of minis, but there's something about opening up a new drone that just gets me going. It's like Christmas morning and my birthday all wrapped up in one. All right, there we are. Now, at first glance, I will tell you that this looks like the 2 and the 2SE. Actually, the original Mavic Mini as well, because they went through a couple of generational changes in the design of the drone. The airframe changed, and the original airframe looked very much like this, where the battery slid in from behind. It had this type of battery in it, and this looks pretty much the same. So I've got to do a little bit more research on this, but my suspicion is what you have here is a Mini 2SE with the same specifications. It flies just as long, 31 minutes. It flies just as far, 10 kilometers. I'll bet it's got a 1/2.3-inch sensor on the front, but the difference is this one records 4K footage at 30 frames a second, whereas the 2SE can only go to 2.7. So you've got a much better imaging package inside. It also has the data transfer from that sensor on the front back through the processing at 100 megabits a second, which means you're going to get some amazing pictures out there in the field. It's going to be crystal clear when you're shooting your video. All right, so I've got a nice little prop guard right there. I'll take that off. I want to get a look at the camera just for kicks to see what that looks like. Let me get that sticker off, and then I'll take this little guide off the front. And yeah, it's hard to tell by looking at it, but I'm going to say it's a 1/2.3-inch sensor. And again, look how small that is. It's perfect for taking it almost anywhere you're going to fly. It's small enough to fit in your bag. It's about the same size as a can of soda. Look how small that is. That and the controller together, boy, that's taking up no space at all. So the next time you're on vacation, these go in your bag first, then you pack your socks and all the other things you're bringing. And when you get to your vacation spot, you got a drone with you. It's wonderful. All right, so let me open it up and get an idea what it looks like there. Pretty straightforward. there you have it. There's the drone. Now, the nice thing about this drone is that it's easy to fly, which means the minute you put it up in the air, there's one button takeoff. You hold the button down, it takes off, stays at about 3 meters or 3 feet up, and then it just stays there. It's a beautiful little drone that just behaves so well. And then if you want to fly it, you move the joystick, it moves. You take your finger off the joystick, it stops. You've got a pause button on here where if you get into trouble near a tree, hit the pause button, the drone will stop in midair, give you time to gather your thoughts. It doesn't have any crash avoidance. It has crash sensing on the bottom, but it's really more of a VIO system to keep it stable. But the one thing that really impresses me with DJI technology in general, and I'm sure this drone is going to be the same, is just how stable and easy it is to fly, because they've built in GPS coordination, which means the drone always knows where it is in three-dimensional space. But when you get close to the ground or you're in an area where GPS isn't working that great, you've got these two sensors on the bottom, which are time of flight sensors, where they actually send a signal down, bounce off the ground, and come back up to the drone. So it knows exactly where it is. And if you decide to fly it inside, that's going to be a real help. In addition to that, the drone, again, has 10 kilometers of distance between the drone and the controller. That's important because a lot of new flyers think, I'm going to put my drone up in the air, I'm going to send it out a couple hundred feet, it's going to forget about me and start heading for the horizon. That won't happen with this drone for a lot of different reasons. Primarily, it's because of the OcuSync technology between the two. A lot of other small drones like this use a standard Wi-Fi signal, which can have a lot of interference and can cause issues for you. Plus, they don't fly that far. With this one, it's a specialized OcuSync technology developed by DJI, which gives you a really rock-solid connection quite a distance away from the drone. Now, again, we've got visual line of sight requirements in the States where you can't fly it further than you can see it. But for me, with this drone, 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, no problem. I can see the drone. So you can fly it quite a distance away. It also has safety features built in. So, for example, if the battery's getting low, you're not paying attention to the battery level, the drone will realize I'm so far away from my home point, I only have a little bit of energy left, and Rick's not paying attention to my battery level. I'm going to put an emergency return to home trigger, and I'm going to elevate to a height that you can set in the application, spin to face your home point, fly back and land exactly where it took off. So it's smart enough to protect itself from you, the pilot, if you're not paying attention. You have one button, takeoff and landing, so you can hold that button down to take off. When you're back over your home point, you can hold it again and it'll land. It's really built to fly. And then the final thing is they built some artificial intelligence into the drone. And what I mean by that is, a drone is not hard to fly, but it takes you a while to get good at it. And you're going to want to do things like have the drone fly away from you and show the landscape behind you, or circle you, or shoot straight up in the air. And you can do all those using the joystick, but the first couple times you fly, you might not get that good. You can use these artificial intelligence features inside the drone by simply tapping a button on the application, and it'll execute those predetermined flight patterns automatically. So it's built to make it easy to fly, for you to capture some really nice footage, and just have a whole lot of fun out there. And the last thing I'll say about the drone itself, this iteration of the drone, is that DJI's taken a lot of the features, again, that are available on some of the more sophisticated drones, and they built it into a drone that's easy to fly, it's budget friendly, and it's really a great drone for somebody that hasn't flown before to get into the hobby, because I have so much fun when I fly my drone. I can't even explain it, just how freeing it is and how exciting it is to put a drone up and explore a new area like a forest or a lake. It's just a great time out there. All right, so let's see what else we got in the kit, because I almost forgot about the accessories. All right, so it looks like you're going to get a lot of props. These are all spare props. You get 3 full sets of props, including, that's the 4th set there. So you've got 3, let's see, 2. Yeah, there's 2. There's a left and a right, left and a right, left and a right. So you've got really like 3 extra sets of props. So if you wing a branch or something with it and you nick the prop, you can change out the props. You've also got 2 connection cables because you may be using an Android phone or an Apple phone. It may be a Lightning connector, a USB-C connector, or a micro USB connector. You've got extra cables to connect to all those different variations. I mentioned the prop guard right there. Desiccant packages. Get rid of these. Don't hang on to those because those are really dangerous for somebody to eat. And then finally, there's a charging cable here. It's a USB-A to USB-C. So you can basically charge this from any charger that puts out at least 35 watts of power. If you've got a 65 watt charger, even better. And if you've got a PD or power delivery charger, you can quick charge these batteries. And here's the charging cable. Again, USB-A plugs into your charger, USB-C plugs into the side of it. One little trick though is if you have an Android phone or something that charges off a USB-C, you can also use this cable by plugging the USB-A end into the battery bank and plugging the USB-C into your device so you can charge it when you're out in the field. And then finally, there's a screwdriver. Isn't that nice? They give you a screwdriver to change the prop. So everything you need is included with the kit. And again, I like the fly more combination because I know I'm going to need props. I'm going to want second and third batteries. I'm going to need a way to charge those batteries together instead of just shifting through the drone. And I really like the fact that it's got a case because everything can be kept in one place. When I head out on a Saturday morning, all excited with my cup of coffee and my drone, I won't have to worry about getting to a location and realizing I forgot the cables, I forgot something, the batteries, and then I have to drive back home again. I think it's a wonderful drone. I'm going to put it up in the air. I'm going to test it, have a lot of fun with it. And my recommendation is, if you thought about getting into the hobby and you want to start flying a drone and you've been on the fence up to this point, now's the time to get off the fence, because this is the drone that's going to get you out there in the field, put the drone up on a beautiful weekend, and have fun with the family and friends. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you found this informative. And until next time, happy flying.